You know, I sure did like the way that guy put that last bull away.
Yeah, it was neat.
One swipe of that shiv and bingo. Man, when that bull hit the dirt, it shook the whole bull ring. Hey, Dad, what do they call those things they stick in them?
Banderias.
I don't go for them.
That's part of the game. You gotta soften them up.
Well, yeah, but the bulls ain't got a chance. It's stacked against them. Hey, Uncle Mooney, you know, you missed the best part when that big red one jumped the fence. What's the matter? Don't Uncle Mooney like the fights? How come he left so early?
Some business.
With those mugs we met in the parking lot?
Shut up running off of the mouth and grab some sleep, will you? You drive a man nuts.
Hey, Dad, there's a cop following us.
Don't slow down. Step on it.
My kid's in the back. Let's take the ticket.
You know this car is hot. Lose him.
Hey, Dad, ain't you gonna stop?
On the floor, kid. Quick. I said on the floor. Get in the car.
No, don't touch that. Here. We'll cut over the gardenia. Sal will take you and the kid home. I'll get rid of the stuff. Duck the car.
Yeah. You got ears? I said get back in the car.
You killed him. You killed him.
It was an accident, kid. We already quit the chase. The cop just didn't put on his brakes in time.
Come on. Crying won't help it any, kid. Look, I know how you feel. Kind of rotten inside. Well, I feel the same way. But it's happened, kid. There's nothing we can do to change it. You gotta wipe it out of your mind. Look, you don't grab some sleep, you're gonna play lousy ball tomorrow. Tell you what, I'll buy you a new mitt, huh?
Why didn't you do it?
Johnny, get this straight. Your old man didn't do it. Oh, I've always hated cops, sure, but I know killer, Johnny. It was Mooney. He slammed on the brakes.
Really?
What do you mean, really? I said it. We don't lie to each other. You'll ask me really again, I'll bet you.
I'm glad it wasn't you.
We better what?
Scram.
The cops won't catch up with this kid. Mooney mops up good. So grab some sleep, huh? Night.
Good night, Dad.
Good night, kid.
That's right. Well, skip it, doll. We'll place the call later. Nobody's up in Las Vegas yet.
Mooney should have checked in last night. Maybe they were delayed in Tijuana.
That's probably him now. Hello. Who? Just a second. That's the police department asking for Inspector Guerin.
Inspector Guerin? He's supposed to be here or something? Will you tell him that... I got it.
Hold it just a second, Sergeant.
Oh, come in.
Morning, Mr. Lane.
Well, Inspector Guerin, you haven't rousted me at this hour of the morning for a long time. Well, I believe you got a phone call out there in the patio.
I'm expecting one from the crime lab. Guerin.
Inspector, these prints aren't on file. Lieutenant Miller says they're probably a woman's. I'll go along with that.
Well, what about the toy?
Well, these gizmos, they pass them out all over Tijuana. The dog track, pile-eye, bullfights. You were right about its being brand new. This paint wouldn't hold up 2 days in the sun.
Anything else in the car? I know. Well, sift the ashes. Run boil yourself a 10-minute egg.
You heard him? Cup of coffee, Lieutenant?
No, thanks.
Sit down.
I'll level with you fast, Lane. I'm not here looking into your operation. We got a whole department doing that.
Yes, I know. It's a scandalous waste of the taxpayers' money.
I'm strictly homicide, and the case right now happens to be personal.
Who?
Just another cop to you. But I knew him. He was murdered by some slobs who, from all appearances, run their show about like you do. But the job didn't have your polish, Lane. It was real clumsy.
Where did it happen?
A back road about an hour out of Tijuana. Stolen cars, stolen plates. They'd made a pickup below the border. And on their way back, their plans were altered by a traffic cop.
Did they shoot him?
No. They couldn't outrun him, so they simply slammed up brakes in his face.
Sounds like a bunch of scared kids. What happened to the car?
Ditched and burned. We found it 2 hours ago. And they weren't punk kids either. We found traces of hot stuff in the car. Mexican authorities have been tracking that stuff, but they followed a decoy in Tijuana and missed the pickup. I'm betting you didn't do it, Lane, because there was a woman in the car.
A woman? You're kidding.
We got fingerprints. One set, that's all. So maybe you can eliminate some competition. Anybody trying to shoulder in?
On what? Look, I don't like this cozy assumption that I'm Mr. Rackets and everybody knows it. That was investigated by the grand jury and cleared.
You're a bum, Lane, and you know every bum in town. And you probably know who did it right now. If you don't, you can find out in nothing flat. So do yourself a favor. If you don't, I'll have the heat turned on your organization up and down the ladder.
Should I throw him out?
We told you to go boil an egg.
Nose into it fast, Lane. I don't like to see old friends smeared on the highway like that.
Get Mooney on the phone. Find him.
Oh. You ever started giving maids a day off, had holes in her head. From now on, she works 7 days a week.
We better hurry.
Look, will you stop stammering? I told you to relax. There's nothing to be scared of.
I ain't scared.
Look, I'm one of your pals at school. How'd you like the bullfights?
We never even went to Tijuana.
No kidding. Where'd you go?
Camping.
That's a good place, kid. We got lost. I couldn't think of a better yarn if I had to. So relax. Probably the washroom. Oh, it's you.
Get a move on. Lane wants to see us right away.
You could have phoned. I told you last week I didn't like you making a habit of dropping by here.
Oh, hiya, Johnny. What's the matter? Can't he talk?
He's still a little upset. He's got a right to be.
Lane isn't happy.
You think I am?
He heard about the cop before I had a chance to check in. Maybe we shouldn't tell him that the kid was along, huh?
It was your bright idea. Tell him anything you want.
The kid's got the jitters. Maybe better stay home from school for a couple of days.
It's better for him to be doing something.
He can come along with us.
That's the last thing I'd ever do. Kids get along great in school. First time in his life. He even likes his teacher. Grab your books, kid. We're running late. Come on, Johnny. Make it snappy, huh? You better hurry, kid. That's the late bell. Here's your lunch money. If I'm not around when you get home, you work up a ball game or take in a show. So long, kid.
I don't think you're being very smart.
No? Well, after last night, it's my turn to be stupid.
I'm sorry, Charlie. I know it's a sound proposition, but I'm afraid you'll have to count me out. I'm going back east for a while. It's small mostly. You know how it affects my sinus. Well, anyway, we'll keep in touch. Give my best to Helen, huh? Bye.
Morning, Mr. Lane.
Tony?
Leaving town, Gordon?
Yeah, I'm flying to Chicago in exactly 33 minutes. Where's the stuff?
Stashed it.
Good, leave it there. All right, who was she?
She.
What are you talking about?
Don't blame me for dumb. They found her fingerprints in the car.
There were no fingerprints in that car. I steamed it before I burned it.
I don't care what you did. I tell you, they found her fingerprints in the car. She could have dropped the purse, a lipstick.
Now, there was no dame. They could have mistaken my kid's prints for a woman's.
Kid? Your boy Johnny went along, Tony?
Well, I figured it was a cinch to cross the border. You'd see the customs would see him in the back and then...
All right, cancel my reservation. See if you can get me a later flight. Use the phone in there. I brought you out here because I thought you were smart, Tony.
You think I like my kid messed up in this? Bad enough he's got me for an old man without my rubbing his nose in what I do.
All right, easy.
Here's
Tony.
another thing. I don't like working in the dark. The bullfights were half over before I found out what deal was on. Never pull anything like that again.
All right, let's not get hysterical, Tony.
Nothing's going to happen to you, kid.
The police are looking for a woman. I know a wonderful school in Switzerland. In fact, my daughter goes there.
Johnny's staying right where he is. You don't have to worry about him, Ratton.
Yeah, I know, but sometimes children like to brag and look tough, Tony.
He's not very proud of what he saw. Anyway, Mr. Lane, business-wise, I take my orders. My private life is my own. I think I know what's best for my kid.
What's best for your kid ain't necessarily best for us.
You're so worried. Maybe you ought to go to Switzerland.
What about the kid?
So scared he can hardly talk. When he gets his voice back, he might start to blab everything.
Well, you better keep an eye on him.
Don't forget your common denominator.
I forgot.
Johnny, did your parents object to your taking the polio shots?
No, ma'am. I've...
Johnny, are you feeling all right? Did you lose your polio card?
I
Forgot it. Oh, don't worry. There's plenty of time. You bring it tomorrow. Boys and girls, will you please continue with your fractions while I take these to the office?
Why don't you tell you're scared?
Come with me to my office.
And the rest of you, get in your seats and stay in them.
Regulations require that I expel him. I think his family should place him in a private school. If they don't institute some corrective measures, this boy will become a case for juvenile authority.
I don't believe that.
This isn't the first infraction. He's been in one brawl after another since he enrolled.
Well, you must admit, Mr. Farrington, that his fights are becoming less frequent.
I'm sorry if I can't treat it as lightly as you. Why, he was a little animal, a savage.
And I've been trying to explain to you that there's something bothering the boy. I don't know what, but I noticed it the first thing this morning. Well, he can scarcely talk.
Hiya, kid. I've been waiting. Come on, get in. I'll give you a lift.
Thanks. I won't walk.
Well, your dad asked me to pick you up. Hey, Johnny. Johnny, come back.
I only know he's emotionally disturbed, ready to explode. That's why he fought so furiously.
You know, Lois, an outsider would think that you were the boy's mother the way you're defending him. Tell me, why is he so special to you?
Well, I don't know. Well, when he came here, he was a D's, Dems, and Do's kid. You know, a real little toughie with 50 chips on each shoulder. But when you reach him and get under that tough little shell, you find out that he's bright and quick and curious and animated.
Well, I see he's doing 7th grade math.
Oh, you ought to read a paper he wrote on what I like best. Well, I got the usual horses, ice cream, summer vacations, baseball from the others, but Johnny liked his dad best. It would be my guess that Mr. Rocco is a very wonderful person.
Do you think it would be any help to talk to his parents?
I'll do anything to keep you from expelling him.
All right, Lois. I'll give you one more brawl.
Thank you, sir. Where's Johnny Rocco?
I thought he was in there with you. I stepped out for a moment. When I came back, he was gone.
I'm sorry, Father.
No matter, son.
I wish more people were in such a rush to get to church. Something the matter, son? Some of the boys chasing you?
No, sir.
Hi, George, I know you. Your name's Johnny.
Yes, sir. I sneak in here sometimes with Jimmy Duval.
Of course, you're on the same team as him in Little League. What do you mean, sneak?
Well, my old man wouldn't go for it if he knew I was hanging around any church.
I see. You're off limits.
Huh? Yeah. My old man says it.
Well, don't be nervous, son. I like to hear these things. What did your old man... what did your father say?
Well, he don't think priests are any better than cops.
Oh, this should be very stimulating. Would you care to step into my office? This way. Here we are. Come on in, lad, and have a seat. Go ahead over there. In spite of such opposition at home, your religious fervor is most encouraging. What started you coming here?
Well, Jimmy says that people can talk to you and they don't get around.
That's right. That's partly the idea. Would you care to step across the hall and confess?
Confess? I ain't got nothing to confess.
Slow down, slow down. I understand. It's just an off-the-record chat you want.
Yeah.
Well, shoot. What's bothering you?
They kicked me out of school.
They kicked me out 6 times when I was a boy. And it generally involved a scrap. You know, fisticuffs. What school?
Lee Street.
Lee Street? Why, I know the principal over there and most of the teachers.
My teacher is Miss Mayfield.
Lois is a member of our congregation.
No kidding?
No kidding. And you can bet your boots she'd never let one of her pupils down.
Still, that don't help the worst part.
Oh, what's that?
Going home. My old man will whale the daylights out of me.
I don't believe it.
You don't know him. Anyway, should I take it on the lam a couple of weeks? Or just not tell him and pretend like I'm going to school while you and Miss Mayfield work it out?
No, that'd be deceitful. Go home and tell your father. Lay it on the line.
Boy, you sure make it sound simple. You ain't the one getting the strapping.
All right. If you wish, I'll go home with you.
You flipped? I wouldn't walk in there with a priest, not even if you change your suit. But you might put in a good word with the principal.
Be glad to. What's your last name, Johnny? Oh, I guarantee it won't get round to your father that you've been consorting with priests.
That's the deal. My name is Johnny Rocco. And you can tell the principal I promised never to slug them yellow, crawling, creepy wiseacres again.
I'll do it. And what's your end of this deal?
I tell my old man what happened.
That's the ticket, Johnny. When you know something that should be told, tell it. It's the man who comes clean, no matter how much it hurts. Don't ever try to kid yourself by ducking or hiding from the truth.
But what if telling hurt somebody else?
Oh, I don't think telling the truth ever hurt anyone in the long run.
I don't buy that.
Oh, you don't? Well, anyway, I've enjoyed our talk, Johnny. I wish you'd drop round more often. I love to chew the fat. Will you?
Yes, sir.
Shake. There, now we're friends. You see? Off you go.
Hello, Johnny. Hold on. Don't be scared, Johnny. What are you doing running to a priest?
I
told him about the accident, huh?
No, honest.
Now, come on, Johnny. This is your Uncle Mooney. You know better than try to fool me.
You ain't my uncle. I don't like you anymore.
Well, I like you, Johnny, and I'm worried about you. I'm worried about your old man, too. When the cops hear about that accident and find out it wasn't an accident, your old man will get the gas chamber.
He didn't do it. You...
How do you do, sir?
Oh, good afternoon, Father. Hey, Johnny.
I take it you're Johnny's father.
No, his dad just asked me to pick him up. Look at him go. Sure been a problem, Father.
In what way?
Any way you can imagine. Fighting, stealing, truancy, lying.
That's too bad. I had quite a chat with the boy. He seemed to be telling the truth.
What was his beef?
Oh, a scrap at school. I suppose they threatened to expel him.
His dad is thinking of sending him to a military academy. Strict discipline, that's what that kid needs.
But he seemed to like this school. He was anxious that I speak to the principal.
Oh, I suggest you forget about it, Father. Oh, you got enough worries, I know.
But I promised the boy.
I'll tell him I told you to forget about it, Father. Thanks, anyway.
Excuse me. Which is the Rocco apartment?
Mr. Rocco lives in apartment 412.
Thank you.
I've been waiting for you, kid.
Mr. Rocco?
Sure thing, Jack. What can I do for you?
I'm Lois Mayfield, Johnny's teacher.
Oh, come right in, Jack. I see what the kid means.
I beg your pardon?
He seems to think you're pretty much okay. What's the matter? Are you in a scrape or something?
Well, not exactly.
Oh, his polio shot. Yeah, I okayed him all right. He walked off and got this. Here.
Thank you. But that's not what I came for, Mr. Rocco.
Look, did he break a window? Smack some panty waist? Don't worry. Whatever it is, I'll square it.
Oh, I'm afraid it's a little more involved than that. Is Johnny's mother home?
No, he hasn't got a mother. She's dead.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Well, don't break up, Jack. It happened a long time ago. She went out when he came in. Say, can I fix you a drink?
No, thanks.
Oh, grab a chair, Jack. What's the big involvement?
Johnny was almost expelled from school today, Mr. Rocco, because of a fight.
Oh, fighting again, huh? Look, I told that kid to cut out scrapping. If you wanted me to give him a licking up...
No. I've already talked to our principal about Johnny, and he's going to give him another chance.
Well, I sure appreciate your going to bat for him, Jack.
If you don't mind, my name isn't Jack.
Sorry, I call all names Jack. Okay, Miss Mayfield, I think I get the picture. You want me to keep the kid in line?
That, yes. But there's a bigger problem. Johnny's suddenly begun to stammer.
Well, lots of kids do that. Maybe he had a bad dream. It'll pass.
Mr. Rocco, I don't enjoy upsetting you, but I've seen this sort of thing before. Well, there are consonants Johnny can't sound. Breathlessness, involuntary hesitation, and it's all come on so suddenly, so unaccountably.
Well, those kids have been giving him a rough go. He's on edge.
Now, the children don't really bother him. No, today he behaved as if he were terribly afraid.
That kid's not scared of anything. What are you trying to give me?
Facts. Has he been hurt? Has he seen an accident, a fire, a drowning, anything at all that could shock him?
No. And stop trying to make such a big deal out of it, will you? Just skip it, Jack.
Do you love your son?
Well, that's a silly question. He's all I've got.
Then act as if you're interested in helping him. He could have been hit on the head with a baseball bat, and you wouldn't even know.
Easy, Jack.
Mayfield. Look, you've got a wonderful boy. He's all full of possibilities. I'm trying to tell you there's something wrong with him. Something dreadful, something that might afflict him the rest of his life. And when I come here, hoping that you're going to help me get to the cause of it, all you say is, skip it, Jack. All right, Mr. Rocco, I'll skip it.
Miss Mayfield. Miss Mayfield. Don't lose your interest in the kid because of me. You're the first dame he's ever gone for. I should say lady. I mean, you're really getting somewhere, man. Don't quit him. He needs you. It's just that... Well, just don't pick his brains. If there is something really bothering him, let me feel him out, huh? The kid and me are like that, you know?
Yes, I know. All right, I will. I'll do whatever I can, without picking his brains. You do that. You find out what's frightening him and destroy that fear before it takes root and leaves a lasting scar.
It's a deal, Jack. Say, can I drive you home?
No, thanks. It's just a short walk.
After that conversation, you're not going to send him back to school, huh?
Mooney, I told you this morning I don't like you dropping in here.
I tried to pick up the kid.
You what?
Well, Lane suggested that I tail him. You know, I had to chase him for 10 blocks.
Why, you dirty. Why, you're the one that's got him stammering. You ever take after my kid again, huh?
Rocco, Johnny ducked into a church. A Catholic church. He talked to a priest. They got confessions in a Catholic church, Rocco.
Priests don't talk.
Yeah, I know. But it shows the kid is itching to get it off his chest.
You're nuts. That's Johnny. Look, I'll take care of the church bit. Now, you scram. I don't want him to see you. Been a pretty rough day, eh?
I got a hunch it's gonna be a lot rougher.
Don't bother telling me. I know all about it. I got news for you. You're back in school.
Huh?
Your teacher stopped by. She squared the beef.
She's a good
Hey, no. Don't try to talk right now. Sit down. Johnny, today was your last fight. I mean it, kid. Now, here's another thing. You gotta stop this stammering. Right now.
Yes, sir.
You see what it is deep down inside, you're scared. Now, we both know what you're scared about. But I won't let anything ever happen to you, kid. Never worry about that.
I'm not. I'm...
Worried about Mooney? Forget him. He's out of your hair for good.
I'm worried about you.
Would you stop worrying about me if I cut off my connections and started over again clean? That's exactly our plan, kid. But remember, you just don't cut off guys like Mooney.
I gotcha.
You quietly slip out of their lives. So now you can start feeling better. Let's hear you say Pepper.
Pepper.
Ball.
Ball.
See, there's nothing to it.
Right.
There's something else.
What?
You talk to a priest.
So that father double-crossed me. I should listen to you. Did he phone you?
No, it was Mooney. He told me. Now, sit down.
Oh.
Since when you stopped talking to priests? How did you meet him?
Well, he coaches one of the ball teams, and Jimmy Dougal sings in his choir.
Oh, I see. Well, what'd you tell him?
Just that I got kicked out of school.
Well, I don't want you going to it anymore, here?
Yes, sir.
Now, drink your milk.
What's the matter? Aren't priests any good?
I didn't say they weren't. It was just something personal with me.
How come?
They make me feel creepy, that's how come. Do I have to explain? I can be feeling like $1,000,000. I run into a priest and I feel sour the rest of the day. Does that make it clear?
That priest don't make me feel creepy.
Johnny, come here.
A cross.
If you got a yen for religion and stuff like that, you can wear it.
Where'd you get it?
This is your mother's gift. She was another good Jack. The very best. I'm afraid when she died, she left a couple of orphans. Here. Look, when I took you out of that private school in Chicago, because I wanted you to be near me. Now, I don't want you fighting and growing up to be a muck. But that doesn't mean I want you hanging around that church. So stay away from there, understand?
Yes, sir.
Now, throw on a shirt. We're going to grab a steak.
Great.
And for Pete's sake, shut up that stammering.
Boys and girls, you didn't do too well on America this morning, so we're going to do it again before we dismiss. Will you please rise? Sing.
My country is only sweet land of liberty, of thee I sing. Land where my father died, and all thy children died, from every mountain side, let freedom ring.
Oh, that was much better. Class dismissed. Bye. Johnny, can I see you for a minute? You sing beautifully, Johnny. Oh, don't give me that awe. And there's something else I discovered this week. You don't have any trouble with words when you're singing. Now, why is that?
I don't know. I just like to sing, I guess.
I think that's going to be the key to helping you. As a matter of fact, I decided that yesterday. So I've set up an audition for you.
A what?
A tryout. Somebody's going to hear you sing.
Not me, Jack.
What did you say?
I meant, Miss Mayfield. Holy cats. Singing is for sissies.
Oh, don't be silly. You love to sing, don't you?
Yeah, but you can like to do something without doing it. Excuse me, Miss Mayfield. This is for you.
Oh, thank you, Bobby.
You're welcome.
Well, I have to go to Mr. Farrington's office. Would you please clean off the blackboards for me, and I'll be right back.
And this is the aptitude test for the 6th grade.
You want to see me, Mr. Farrington?
There's a man from the police department in my office. He wants to see you.
Me?
Well, he just wants a little information, Lois. Nothing to worry about.
That's right. I'll call you back later. Miss Mayfield?
Yes.
I'm Inspector Garrett. Won't you be seated?
Thank you.
Mr. Farrington was kind enough to let me use his office. I might add that he speaks very highly of you. Let me begin by saying that I'm here to ask your help, Miss Mayfield. And however you decide, this conversation is strictly confidential.
I understand.
Frankly, you first interested us as a suspect. You see, we're looking for a certain woman.
Well, this was taken
Outside Tony Rocco's apartment last Monday afternoon. While we were checking you out, fingerprints and so forth, we learned of your interest in Rocco's son. The police are interested in the father.
Could I ask why?
He's one of 3 or 4 prime suspects in a murder case.
Well, I certainly hope your suspicions are unfounded.
How well do you know Rocco, Miss Mayfield?
Hardly at all. Outwardly, he's brash, perhaps, a bit cold, but underneath, I suspect he's very warm. He worships his son.
Well, he feels different about cops. So that you won't be swayed by your emotions, let me tell you that Rocco was long past due, Miss Mayfield. Back east, as a kid, he was king of the rat packs. He did a stretch in Jersey State Pen before he was 20. He's had his fingers in everything. Out here, in less than 8 months, he's already number 3 or 4 boy in the local syndicate. So feeling sorry for the son doesn't accomplish anything. The boy's got to find out. And you're in a position to get information that might help us pin a murder rap on Tony Rocco.
I wouldn't. I couldn't. I'm only interested in helping that boy, not in destroying his idol.
You don't care if his idol's a cop killer?
I don't believe that.
I'd like not to believe it either, Miss Mayfield. But I have to know where Tony Rocco was Sunday night.
Sunday night?
That's right.
See how wrong you are. Well, Mr. Rocco wasn't even in town. He took Johnny to the bullfights in Tijuana.
You're sure of this?
Oh, we could certainly ask the boy. That's all he talked about last week. He said his old man was going to take him to the bullfights. Why didn't I think of that before? Those fights could have upset Johnny. He's had difficulty speaking.
Mr. Farrington mentioned it. When did this nervousness set in?
The first of the week. I bet I'm right. It could be very shocking to a child the way they slaughter those animals.
It could be shocking to witness a murder, too, Miss Mayfield. The policeman we're talking about was killed just out of Tijuana last Sunday night. He was killed in a brutal, calculated way by some people in a car. And I'll bet my badge that boy either was in the car or he knows what happened.
You're not going to question him.
I have to.
Well, why don't you question the father? He's the one you're after.
Miss Mayfield, you could beat Tony Rocco all night with a rubber hose, and he'd only grin and spit at you.
Mr. Guerin, if what you say is true, then the fact that you're a policeman would only terrify Johnny.
He doesn't have to know I'm a policeman. I prefer that he doesn't.
Couldn't you make it a little later? He's very happy now. I'm taking him to a singing audition.
Why don't we both take him? We're old friends, Lois. I'm Fred. The boy will be at ease in your company, and I'll go about it with gloves on.
Hey, Mooney, there they are.
She's got that kid in tow again this afternoon. I tell you, she's working on him around the clock.
Who's the man?
Maybe a psychiatrist from the school board, for all I know.
Well, we'll find out.
Lois tells me you're one of her star pupils, Johnny. You can sing, too.
Thanks. I'm sure glad tomorrow's Saturday.
Yeah, me, too. Say, Lois, what are you doing over the weekend?
Nothing planned, Fred. Why?
Oh, I thought we might buzz down to Ensenada, do a little fishing. Maybe catch the bullfights on the way back. You ever see the bullfights, Johnny?
No, sir.
I thought you said your father took you there last weekend.
We changed our mind.
Oh. Turn right at the next corner, Fred.
Hey, where are we going?
Just a couple blocks from here.
What'd you do instead of going to the bullfights, Johnny? See the dog races?
We never even went to Tijuana. We went camping.
Camping, eh? Sure a lot of good spots just this side of the border.
Dad and me went the other direction, to the desert.
Just the two of you?
When we go camping, if we really get lost.
I'll bet. Sure a nice time of the year in the desert. What'd you do, hunt?
No, we look for rocks.
Say, that's an interesting hobby. I'd like to see what you brought back.
Oh, you wouldn't look twice at the junk we found. We threw it away.
Funny. I think we're being followed.
Maybe it's a cop.
Well, why should it be a cop?
Oh, they're always passing out tickets for nothing. They give me a headache.
Here we are.
They're going into that church again. Get to a phone. Call Rocco. Tell Lane what's going on. I'll keep the car and tail that guy.
Oh, I guess I was wrong.
Hey, what's you trying to pull?
You're going to try out for Father Reagan's choir.
Not me, Jack.
Hey, Johnny.
Time you showed up. My boys are waiting.
Father Reagan, this is Mr. Fred Garand.
Good morning, Father.
How do you do? So you deceived me.
What are you talking about?
All the time we talked, you never so much as hinted you could sing.
I can't. Not good enough for a church anyway. So let's scram, huh?
Nah, son. We'll square any beef with your father.
And your father asked me to help you. This isn't just fun, Johnny. It's therapy. It's going to help you speak.
Besides, if you want to quibble, singing in church isn't necessarily going to church. So come on now. Let's see if you've got as good a voice as the other.
He did. They went together, huh? Yeah, I know the place.
At ease! Quiet! Oh, the roof's falling in. Fellas, gather round. I think we found ourselves a future tenor here. His name is Johnny Rocco.
Hi, Johnny. Hi, Jimmy. Hi, Pete. Hi, Bill. Hi, Johnny.
Get him a hymn book, Billy.
Okay.
Everybody up on stage. Come on now. Come on now. Johnny, get in the middle, please. We'll start with our old standby, Ave Maria. It's on page 15, I think, Johnny.
Oh, yeah, I know that one. We used to sing it in school in Chicago.
Well, that's fine. Keep the book anyway, in case. do you think, boys?
He's not only good, he's loud. Yeah.
You're in, Johnny. 7:30 tomorrow night rehearsal, boys. Now, take it easy. Oh. Hey, two of you forgot your mitts.
Oh, looks like Father Regan's got himself a new tenor.
You sounded great, Johnny.
Wasn't it fun?
Yeah. I really like to sing.
Do you know Adeste Fidelis?
I think so.
That's wonderful. We're going to have a lot of fun. Here.
What are these?
That's your cassock and surplice.
Oh, neat.
Let's see how they look.
Now, the rehearsal tomorrow night is the dress for our Christmas program. Pay particular attention to Adeste Fidelis.
When do I wear these?
At this rehearsal tomorrow evening, and always in church.
I ain't gonna get to sing with you.
Oh, yes, you will.
Sure you are, Johnny. Say, now you look pretty sharp.
You bet he does. Your father's going to be very proud when he hears of this.
Get that thing off you. Shut up. Attending so bad lately, you got a Shanghai kids? You heard me. Take it off you. Take it off you.
They would just let me sing with them. Oh.
You heard me. When I say something, listen to me. Now get out of here. You the fellow who dragged him here?
Drove him.
You got some special interest in him?
I'm interested in any kid with the problems he's got.
Well, keep away from him.
Mr. Rocco.
That goes for you, too, Father. The kid doesn't need you. He doesn't need any church.
Mr. Rocco, let's put it this way, sir. I think the father's need is greater.
Johnny!
Miss Mayfield.
Johnny, come back!
I'd like to explain why I blew off like that.
You wonder why he stammers. I don't. I know now. It's a miracle the poor kid can talk at all.
Miss Mayfield.
I think I can explain it, Rocco. It's not the church music. It's something else the boy might sing.
To make a remark like that, you've got to be a cop.
Homicide.
Well, what I said still goes. Stay away from the kid.
Do I have to book you to talk to you?
What's the charge?
Take your pick. I've got all kinds of choices. Maybe a dead cop on Sunday night, cruelty to children. The latter would fit you fine. Look, let's not double talk around it. There are no witnesses on hand. How many people were in that car? Who was driving? Who was a woman?
Will you mind telling me what you're running off about? What, did somebody shoot a cop?
Look, we know all about Lane's past record and his operations, and we know that you're tied in with him. Now, if you were in that car, you might duck the gas chamber by telling us what happened. And you'd be taking an ugly load off your boy's mind.
He's got no load in his mind. Why, did you talk to him?
Yeah. He told us you went camping.
Yeah, we hunt and fish a lot. Boy, they were really biting.
You must have fished a mirage. Kid said you went hunting rocks. Reason I don't book you right now on suspicion, I'd have to take the boy down to juvenile hall. Meanwhile, if you were in that car and the kid knows it, his life may be in danger.
What do you mean by that?
I'm referring to those bums who tailed me, the ones who sent you flying to the church.
You're losing me again.
I know your crowd better than you do, Rocco. They're tough, tougher than you are. And if your kid knows too much, they're not going to be restrained by any fatherly devotion. Ever see a kid crack up and go to pieces, Rocco? The personality dies, leaving a trembling shell of a thing. It's sickening to watch. Anyway, don't try to leave town. It's in your lap. Your boy would die before he'd squeal on you. Warren, homicide.
What'd I do?
You're interested in tailing people. I'm interested in finding out why. Let's go down to headquarters.
Johnny. Hello? Yeah, I just got him.
It's a champagne flight, Tony. The kid will get a big bang out of Acapulco.
Look, I don't think this is necessary.
It's not a question about what you think, Tony. The boys are pretty upset. Now, your plane is leaving at 8:15 tomorrow night. You'll be here at my place with the kid at 7:30.
But why not go straight to the airport?
Well, we just want to make sure you don't miss your plane.
Well, sure. If everybody's in such a sweat, I'll string along. It's just the timing, Gordon. Right now, it's bad.
Ask him who was the fish that took his kid to church.
Oh, yeah. Who did the guy turn out to be that was warming up your kid?
Some creep welfare worker.
Well, I hope you're right. Just to make sure Mooney's tailing him. Now, don't forget, you're leaving tomorrow night. Be here with the kid at 7:30, and don't be late.
Johnny, in there? Johnny? You heard me call when I came in. What are you trying to pull? Johnny, I'm sorry.
You hit me for nothing.
I'm sorry, kid. Honest, I just lost my head. I'm your old man, kid. You don't have to be scared of me.
I just wanted to...
You just wanted to sing. You'd still like to sing with that bunch, wouldn't you? Well, you know something? I want you to. Besides that, the father's counting on you. You can't let him down. Tell me, kid. Would you go for it if I asked the father to lend a hand in your upbringing? I mean, kind of put him in charge.
We've been doing okay.
Yeah, sure, but sooner or later I've got to face the music. The sooner I do it, the sooner you'll relax and be happy.
I ain't gonna like it if you're caught.
Don't fool yourself. We'll both feel better. We've been building up a real head of steam facing this one out. We've got the willies like a fighter before the bell. Well, kid, that bell's gonna ring. When it does, you go in there swinging. And just like that, you forget everything you're scared of. All that steam pours out and, well, it's over. You find you can breathe easy again.
You gonna turn yourself in?
Huh? I don't know. I may be forced to.
It wasn't your fault.
No, I know it wasn't. But let's face it, kid, I had a hand in it.
Why don't we scram? We can scoot right now. Run off to...
We're not running anywhere. You'd be running the rest of your life because of me.
See, the cops...
So maybe I'll draw a stretch of the pen. There are worse things than that. Look, I'm glad things are coming to a head. It's going to be a relief. Anyway, Johnny, I'm only certain of one thing. That bell's about to ring. I'll be doing the fighting, you'll be looking on. Well, it's bound to hurt us both, son. So I'm going to ask you a big favor, son. No matter how things work out, will you string along with your old man and be a sport about it?
You know it.
See, no stammering. You're starting to feel better already. Hey, I tell you what. I'd like you some grounders before dinner. How's that sound to you?
Oh, great.
Here you go.
Hey, would you come to hear me sing tomorrow night?
I'll be there. What time is it?
7:30.
I can't think of a better place for you to be. About 7:30 tomorrow night. Let's go.
Mooney goes for blondes, Lane leans to young stuff. We've screened every dame who ever so much as winked at that mob, except Lane's third wife.
I think hunting the woman's a waste of time.
Inspector, if you're so positive Rocco's son was in the car, why don't we bring him in?
No, I'm not going to sweat that kid just to get a statement. All we've got to prove is that he was in the car, period.
Did the boys downstairs get anything out of Mooney?
The usual lip. We let him go a few minutes ago. I banked on a father's instincts. I thought sure Rocco would have phoned me by now. I guess maybe I made a mistake. Say, Joe.
Yeah?
If you were smuggling $250,000 worth of hot stuff, would you be interested in fiddling with a toy?
Not me.
But you might buy one for a kid. Could be a kid's.
Could be.
I'm going to give you boys a plaque for the best bum steer of the season.
They're probably on the way over now. It's not 5 minutes from here.
Come on, Lane. You hold up the game.
All right. Go ahead.
Boy, that's a sucker move. Don't you know the guy can jump you?
How many times do I have to tell you this ain't checkers?
That must be Rocco now.
Well, if it isn't long lost.
What's the matter, kid? You spend a dime on a telephone call?
Shut up. I just got out of jail. You know that guy I was tailing? He pinched me. Turned out to be a pal of yours, Inspector Garron. I've been up day and night inventing answers. Let me tell you guys something. The cops are hot after Rocco's kid. They got this deal just about sewed up, and you're sitting there playing that phony game. Where's Rocco anyway?
Find him.
Well, maybe they picked up the kid by now.
If they picked up his kid, Rocco pulled the lid off everything.
All right. Cut out the hysterics. Now, you go with Dino. Find Rocco and the kid both. We're getting rid of them tonight.
Right. Remember, if you just get the father, the kid'll squeal.
And if you get the kid, the father'll squeal. We got you, Dad. That's Rocco's car, all right. At least he hasn't flown a coop.
He could have rented a car.
Well, we're not going to find out standing here. Let's go.
He didn't take the plane trip very seriously.
Yeah, he always was too independent for his own good.
Hey, Tony! Tony!
I guess the note meant what it said. Hey, look here. The Christmas tree yet.
He's smart to plan it early.
Uh-huh. Find anything?
The kids' clothes are still here. They ain't even packed.
Well, come on, let's make ourselves comfortable.
I don't like this waiting. Who's he coming back here with? Maybe the cops had him write this note.
You're jumping, Dad. Can answer the phone. It's liable to be Lane.
Could be a lot of people.
Yeah. Hello?
Mr. Rocco.
No, this is a next-door neighbor. Who's calling, please?
Father Regan. Oh, listen, boys.
Father Regan.
Tone it down. I can't hear myself think. I was wondering about Johnny. He's supposed to be here this evening for rehearsal. Ah, here he is now.
Sorry we're late, Father. We've been at my house mending Johnny's surface.
Oh, that's wonderful, Lois. Wonderful. I'm sorry to have bothered you, sir.
Oh, that's perfectly all right, Father. That's no bother. See, it pays to answer the phone.
This run-through is over. Take Johnny out the back over to your place.
I don't understand.
Just do what I ask, please. It's important. And try to work it without scaring him. Oh, and give this to Father Regan. that silly thing away. You know I don't carry a gun.
Getting back.
Trying to catch a plane would have been crazy. I got a better deal worked out.
Yeah, so are we.
We're going to wait right here for Johnny.
You do that and you really clobber whatever chances we got left.
Yeah, how do you make that out?
Look, Junior, I tried to tell Lane. I've had a stake out on my neck all week. He sits in the car reading comics. Now, he knows I moseyed down here to watch the kids sing. If the cops decided to close in, we'd sure make a fat bundle sitting here.
You know he makes good sense?
The kid will be another half hour.
All right. Dr. Rocco's the back way. We wait for the kid there. And drive slow. It's easy to see if we're being tailed.
All right, boys. Very good. Don't lose your positions.
Father, Mr. Rocco asked me to take Johnny to my house as quickly as possible. He seemed terribly disturbed. He asked me to give you this.
He's a troubled man. I'll stop the rehearsal now, Lois.
Thank you, Father.
Very good. We're not going to rehearse again this evening. So take off your vestments and set up the ice cream.
Johnny, Father asked me to take you to my house right away.
How come?
I don't know. Maybe he's going to meet us there.
I'm gonna like being in the choir.
Oh, you bet. Well, your father was very proud of you, too. He thought you sang just beautifully. Here's your jacket. Bye, Father.
Good night, Lois.
Good night, Father.
Good night, Johnny.
Well, here we are, Johnny. Your father will probably be along any minute.
Come on, cheer up.
Come on in, Johnny. So we missed the church ice cream. Well, I've got a whole quart in my refrigerator. Bet you can't guess what flavor. You come on in here and I'll tell you. It's black walnut. Would you like some?
No, thanks. I'm not very hungry.
Oh, sure you are. I've got some wonderful cookies, too. Chocolate chip.
Dad pointed to his watch like he was going somewhere. Maybe that's him now.
Hello, Johnny.
Oh, hi, Mr. Gear.
Hello, Lois. How are things?
Fine, just fine. Now, Johnny and I were just going to have some ice cream.
Well, great. Count me in.
Oh, I have to talk to you. Johnny, why don't you turn on the television? You come on and help me dish up the ice cream. Something's very wrong. I don't know what, but Mr. Rocco asked me to bring Johnny here. He begged me.
I'll tell you why. The boy's the key to this case we've been working on.
How?
We found this toy at the scene of the killing. We got fingerprints off of it. I'm sure they're Johnny's. I came here to get his prints.
But you can't do that. You can't ask him to help the law to kill his own father.
I've got to, right now.
Please, Brad.
Lois, the boy's life is in danger every second of the hour. Every mug in town is out to get him. And we can't arrest them and hold him until we've got the goods on them. Now, if Johnny's prints match the ones we got off of this, then he was in that car. He was there, and we can haul the whole crummy nest of them in. But we can't risk his life any longer by putting off finding out. Hey, Johnny.
Oh, this is real good.
You ever see one of these things?
I thought you were my friend. You're just a dirty cop. My father didn't kill him. It was Mooney.
Johnny, you can't go out the street. Johnny!
I'll put on an APB on Lane and the mob and get us a car.
This has turned into to be a pretty long half hour.
Yeah, what is this better deal you got in mind?
A chance for everybody to scrap. I figure you ought to blow town by car tonight. About midnight, you can grab a train. Lane and the boys can take the plane anywhere they want.
And you?
I'm turning myself in.
You're what?
You really mean that, don't you? All for the kid, huh?
Yeah. That's about the size of it.
Kid's on his way up.
You mind if I mix myself a drink?
Help yourself. Come on in, Johnny. Have a ginger ale on your Uncle Mooney.
Get that rope, Johnny. Get your rope, move. Lock the door. Over here. I was going to call him. We'll wait.
Dad? Are you all right?
Stay there, kid. Johnny.
Come on, kid, let's go. Let me get out of here.
You killed him! You killed him!
Quiet, kid. Come on. Come on. Mooney! Take a look at him, will you?
Dad!
Get him out of here and get him patched up.
He wouldn't let me help him. He shoved me in my room, and then they killed him.
Johnny.
This is Garin. Get an ambulance over to 1848 North Gramercy right away, apartment 412.
Mooney did it. He killed a policeman, and now he killed my father.
Take it easy, Johnny. Your father's not dead.
Huh?
He's coming around now.
He's waking up. Dad, you hear me?
Son, if you quit mauling him, he has a good chance of making it, okay?
Do you hear that? Dad, you're gonna make it.
Sure, kid.
Don't try to move. You're hurt bad.
Nah, it's not much. I told you it was going to sting a little when the bell rang. Hey, say Pepper.
Pepper.
Say Ball.
Ball.
Say no stammer. You gotta have big weight off our minds. Right, Jack?
I know you have.
See the Christmas tree?
Yeah.
There's a little something on it for you.
Listen, Dad, you're gonna make it.
So watch. Take a look at it.